Hey there! In the previous video, I showed you how to establish your first connection with your Xano instance using real-time WebSockets. So, what we're going to do in this second video is that we're going to start joining different channels from here. So, what we're going to do is first make small changes to our previous configuration. If you remember, we were entering our base URL, connection hash, and authentication token in here, and we established the connection, and then we move to the next page. But something else we would like to do here is actually set some page state, and specific we are going to store the connection hash because it's something we are going to use extensively in next steps. So let's name this, let's set it to the value of the text field connection hash. There you go. Cool. And we also want to store, just in case, the authentication token. Set out. Actually, for this, we're going to reuse the logic we have here. Copy and paste that in here. Cool. Let's move this up, and there you go. Okay, cool. So with that logic, now we have at our disposal these two page state variables we can use, and we also created this channels state, which is basically a list of strings. So what are we going to do is we're going to input some value here, which is basically the name of the channel. We're going to tap join. So we attempt to join to that channel, and on success, we're going to add that channel name to the list, which is mapped to this or is connected to this list view here. So let's start by the simple thing. Let's start by adding the action of joining the channel. So when I open this Xano Realtime Data Custom Action Join WebSocket channel, we have a few parameters that are less than in the connection one. So let's map the simple things. Let's look for the state connection hash. That's cool. Channel name will be this new text field we have here, which is the number 4, sorry. And here we have this parameter that is join confirmation duration. So join confirmation duration, basically, this is just because when you attempt to connect or join to a channel, there's no direct response from Xano to a request of joining, but actually there's no response at all. But if we can't join and there's an error, we will receive a message in return almost instantly. So basically this join confirmation duration is a small delay or a wait time, if you want, to wait for that error message, and if it doesn't arrive, then we will assume that it connected. So we can use a small number, something like 500 milliseconds, and then if after 500 milliseconds we haven't received an error message, we will assume that it worked out. It could happen that we have an error in our connection, in which case it will throw an error as well, so it will return a false value. So don't worry too much about it. Here we have two other parameters, the presence and the history. Presence is basically a boolean that defines if we want to be able to access the presence of the channel or not. And that means if we want access to the list of users that are in that channel, or if we don't want to. And the history is similar, but it requests access to the history of the channel. That means the messages that have been sent in that channel. So for now, let's ignore these two, or actually let's set the first one to true, and the second one let's set it to true as well. And we will have this output variable name. As I said, it will return true if we join the channel successfully. So let's call it something like channel connected or something like that. And it will return false if we couldn't join. So let's add a conditional. Let's check against this action output, and if it connected to the channel successfully, what we will want to do is update our page state, select the channels list, and add to list the value of the text field, number 4. And then of course it will be useful to reset it so we can attempt to join another channel. Okay, cool. In case it fails, let's show some sort of snack bar. Then join. Then let's change the color to red. So, okay. So now what this will do is that it will attempt to join. On success, it will update the list view, so we will see the channels we have joined so far, and if it fails, it will show a snack bar. Let's try this. So let me pause the video real quick so I can load the test application. Okay, so here we are in our test application, and actually I'm going to do something new. I'm going to remove this authentication token. So I'm going to connect, but without being authenticated. So let's connect. Cool. The connection is established. I joined the Keep Alive channel, and messages are going to go through. So I'm not going to be disconnected automatically. Awesome. So we want to join a channel. Let's say that we want to join a public channel. As we haven't created, we haven't created any channels yet, it will return some sort of error. So let's start by creating the channels we want to join. First one, let's call it public channel. Public channel is basically will be used to allow anyone to connect. So we want to toggle this on, anonymous clients. So unauthenticated users will also be able to join this channel specific. We're going to set client public messaging, so we can send messages to the server in the future, or messages to other to the server, yes. And we're gonna want to also send messages between users. So any message I send to the channel, other users will be able to see it. In general, of course, in real applications, I wouldn't suggest you to enable this without authenticating your users. Maybe just sending messages to the server, but yeah, for now I think it's good enough. Here we can also check presence. If we want to be able to see the presence in the channel, actually we're going to toggle this on. And we will also want to keep a log of the history of the message, that 25 messages. So let's save this, and we have our first channel. So let's go back to here, and let's join to public channel. And actually, let me let me join right away. And it said we joined successfully. And look at this. We sent this message saying join, okay, and we didn't receive an error message in response. If I type anything here and I try to join, I received this error. I didn't join. And the reason is because when I sent this action to join this channel, it returned this error message. And this error message is what we are catching with that delay I was mentioning before. So, but we were able to join this method, this channel in particular, and as we can see, we receive also a message saying the history, and another message saying the full presence. And the only person in here is me. Actually, no, as I'm not authenticated, I'm seeing that the only person here is me. But of course, there are no credentials, there are no IDs, anything here, so I can see that. But let's duplicate this tab actually, and let it load a few seconds. Let me open the developer tools, and once it loads, I will connect as an authenticated user, and I will attempt to join the public channel. I'll look what happens. First of all, let me come back here and let me clear these messages and let me join. I joined the public channel, but if you see this, we receive a message, presence update. It means that from this tab where I'm not authenticated, we detected that someone entered to the channel, and that's because when we sent the join message, we set this to true. The presence, we set it to true. So with that set to true, you don't just receive a whole list of the people present in the channel. Here you can see that there's two people now. The first one that is not authenticated, and this one that is authenticated, so I can see my information like my row ID, database ID, socket ID, and some extras belonging to the authentication token. And here I can see the update that information in the message as well. So, so that's how you can join channels overall. But let's say that we want to create now a private channel. So let's come here and let's call it private channel. And this time I'm going to not toggle this on. I'm going to just select authenticated only. I don't really remember if you have to check these two, but let's check the both of these just in case. And I'm going to say client authenticated messaging. And this one, synchro. Okay, I'm going to allow all of this. If I'm logged out, then I won't be able to join because I have to establish my connection with the real with the Xano instance using authentication tokens. Otherwise, it will take me as a not authenticated person. So let's save this private channel. Okay, cool. And now let's go back to our applications and let's try first with the not authenticated user. So let's type private channel. Let me clear these logs and let me join. Is this logged in or logged out? I don't remember. Look at this. I received the error, but it thought that it connected successfully. So there was a small delay of almost 6 seconds to receive this error. So something to keep in mind. I think I could improve this in the future, maybe to add some sort of listener, because this is a huge delay. It shouldn't take that long, but it's a huge delay. So maybe I will improve this part of the library to not wait so much. But in the meantime, what you can do is just extend this duration to, I don't know, maybe a few seconds. In this case, I think 6 seconds is just a lot. So definitely improvement for the library. For now, if you want to make sure that you are connected, and I think that's a good practice, you could extend this as much as you can. If you need to handle some logic afterwards, then maybe 2 seconds, 5 seconds is a lot. Usually it doesn't take that much time. Actually, let's give it a try with the private channel thing. Private channel join. As you can see, I didn't receive any error messages. If I go back to the other tab and attempt, actually let me reload this. I'm going to reload this and attempt to join again to see if I receive the error with less delay. So let me clear this. Let me join here. Let me say private. This is closed now. This is the one we're using. Private. This not channel. Sorry. Join. And I received the error. So yeah, if you can extend it to a few seconds, that's great. That you should do. It's weird that it took that long to respond. So yeah, I think I will change this in the future. So I can set a listener or something, and if it listens for an error in asynchronously, it will let you know. But that being said, it will work asynchronously. So we have to wait to receive this error a certain amount of time either way. So we joined the tunnel. I show you how to join public and private channels, and also I show you how to see the history, the presence, but when you join to the channel, etc. But the next question is, how can we start sending messages and start parsing the messages and these things we're receiving? These messages we're receiving, how can we parse them and use them in our FlutterFlow edit environment, in the editor basically. So that's for the next chapter. For this chapter, what I want you to take away of this is that with this action, the join WebSocket channel, you can connect to different channels and handle some basic configurations yourself. And yeah, I see you in the next video where we will dive into adding adding listeners to our connections, so we can start receiving and catching the messages and parsing them to show information or manipulate some logic in the front end. For this, we are going to start working with this chat component here. So see you in the next one.